Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
And my name is Barbara. How's everybody doing?
We are at episode number 58.
58. God, I keep saying this, but I cannot believe that we've made it this freaking far, bro. 58. And you know what? We're just keep going strong. We've had really good meetings. We've got a really great meeting coming up at the FDLA, which is the Florida meeting. So I can't wait. I actually get to interview lots of my friends. Not that you guys aren't my friends, but people that I've known for years and years from Florida. And I'm excited. Can you tell?
And I hear there's an event at night that's outside. I'm pretty excited for that. Is that true? Is it outside?
Yes, they have a band. They have gambling. So much fun.
I can't wait. So we continue this week with more interviews that we had back in February at the LMT Lab Day Chicago 2019. Last week we had 3 interviews, ran a little long on the episode, but we're happy to bring back 3 more and run long again. So starting off, we have Brandi Nowak from Nowak Dental Supplies.
Yay!
Back in February, Nowak Dental Supplies was our first sponsor, and we couldn't have been happier than to have the other half of Nowak's great leadership sit down with us. Brandi comes on to talk about celebrating Nowak's 75th anniversary and a great story about their grandfather and a bag that started the whole company.
Up next, after Brandi, is Nelson Rego CDT from Smiles Designed by Rego. Oh my God, he's so hot. So he is one of this year's JDTs. Who's Hot 2019. I knew way back when, though, way before they dubbed him hot, that he was awesome. He was my mentor for my AACD accreditation. And they thanked him for his ongoing efforts to educate our industry. He talks about his lab in California. Talks about taxes. I know he's a little political, just a tiny bit, and switching his technicians to a salary per piece hybrid pay system. Then we talked to Marlin Gohn from Argen. I've known him forever as well, and he talks about his role in the Argen Corporation and his desire to make every lab better. And I'll tell you what, the man travels probably, I would say 85-90% of his time. Every time I see him on Facebook, he's going here, he's going there. But I think it just shows about his passion for the industry. So roll it, Elvis. Preet is more than a company which provides you with the largest attachment selection in North America, such as locators, O-rings, which is kind of sexual, and hater clips. Preet is more than a company who provides you with analogs, UCLA tie bases, multi-unit parts for over 25 different implant manufacturers. Preet is the company who passionately, and so is Elvis, just saying in our show, supports dental technicians and dental technology. They provide over 60 hours of non-commercial continuing education each year. They are an NADL sponsor and a supporter of the Foundation for Dental Technology, as well as an annual sponsor for the majority of the local state dental technician association, and that is just the start. Preet is honored that dental technicians trust in them as their one-stop shop for their laboratories. In fact, during the month of May, the next time you place an order online or call the awesome team at Preet, use the promo code VOICES, and I quote, VOICES, and you will not only receive 5% off your order, which is pretty amazing. Thank you, Preet. Preet Corporation will also contribute 1% of all promotional sales to the Foundation for Dental Technology. So thank you, Preet. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sponsoring us.
Voices from the Bench. The interview.
Brandi Nowak
Hi.
from Nowak Dental Supplies.
Hi, thank y'all so much for having me.
Good morning and welcome to Saturday LMT Lab Day.
So excited to be here.
That's awesome. So, what is your role at Nowak?
I am the vice president. My grandfather started the business, and so me and Sean are the third generation owners of Nowak Dental.
That's amazing.
I am so happy to hear that. I did not know that. I thought you guys were second generation, but third generation's amazing. I know you guys are celebrating your 75th anniversary. I had the pleasure of having that wonderful vodka at your booth yesterday. That was awesome.
Yes.
You guys' booth is amazing. How's the show going?
Oh, it's going really well, really well. It was King Cake Vodka yesterday.
Oh,
so
man.
we're originally from New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina moved us to Mississippi, but we're originally from New Orleans, and so King Cake is a traditional New Orleans cake. There's a baby inside of it that's a little baby, and whoever gets the baby is supposed to buy the next King Cake.
Sweet.
It only lasts during the month of Mardi Gras, so either January, February, March area. It changes every year. So they made a King Cake Vodka. So,
oh man!
What do you mean? There's a baby floating in it?
Okay, so there's they after they bake it, they put this little plastic baby in there.
Oh,
And that's the person that's got to buy the next cake. So
Exactly.
it's like,
if
you
choke
finding,
on the baby,
Yeah. That's actually funny.
Yes.
whoever chokes on the baby has to buy the next one.
Yeah, you're choking and you're paying.
Exactly.
Well, that was the best vodka I've ever had. No, hands down.
It's
Oh my
so
goodness.
I didn't
But-
taste it, but just smelling it, it smelled exactly like birthday cake.
And it's
Yep.
only available for like a month. So they only make it for a month, and so like you have to buy enough to last you all year.
Well, I think everybody that was stopping by had some, and they were enjoying it as I was. But
Yeah.
you guys look busy. How's the meeting going for
It's
you?
going really, really well. Yes. I think we gave out 300 shots yesterday.
Yeah.
300 shots
Yes.
to 9 people.
I had two, just
There
saying.
you go. It was really good.
Yeah.
I had to have two.
You got to have a little fun at these meetings, I'm
Absolutely.
sitting here watching people walk around with beers yesterday,
Yeah.
and glasses of Fireball, and I'm like, where is everybody getting this? And then we roll over to you guys, and there's shots, and so we work hard, we play hard. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Got to have a little fun.
We're here to learn and to celebrate.
Yep.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I want to know what your role is. How do you deal with your brother? What's it
Oh.
like dealing with family? See, I grew up, my son and my sister both work at the lab. So do you guys just kind of play off of each other?
We do. We really have a good relationship. We balance each other out. I'm the cheap one. He's the the spender.
He is the spender.
He
I
is the
agree.
spender.
You have to hold him down.
Yes.
I've
That's
seen that.
hilarious.
So we kind of balance each other out. We just both dig in, and whatever needs to be done gets done. We're really hands-on. We really roll up our sleeves and just get the job done.
Didn't you guys just open a bigger facility a year
we did,
or so
yes.
ago?
We expanded it because after Katrina, we had to just buy whatever we could buy. Like, there was no
Yeah.
places. So we've had to make this our own, and, we bought the land next to us and added on, and we bought more land just in case we ever need to add on again.
Wow.
Yes.
Good for you guys.
And besides working with my brother, my husband works there, and Sean's wife works there.
Yeah.
So we have.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have all of us there.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I could not work with that much of my family. I could not do it.
Really?
No. It's still too much.
Yeah, I work with my son, and it's pretty cool because
And your sister.
and my sister, which my sister's in sales, and so she's the one that's a talker, and I'm a be bright, be brief, be done. And just fill me in. So sometimes we go a little bit around on that, and I'm just like, just say it. Tell me what you need. But
Okay.
it's always
you and
fun.
Sean should have a conversation because he likes stuff precise. Like, give me one sentence.
Yes,
Like, give me one
that's me.
sentence and we're
And
done.
I'm done.
Yeah, and
That's how my mind works.
And I'd rather have the whole story. I need the background. I need all that. Than he just one sentence.
It's like it's not good enough, but you need to know this. And
Exactly.
You need to know this. It's like, no, I don't.
You do. You need to know the background.
That's why it's good because you play off of
We
each
do,
other's
we
strengths
do.
and, who does
Exactly.
what better or who does what different. And
Right.
It's cool.
Well,
Yes.
you guys are amazing company.
Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
What I like most about it is how much you give back to our industry.
Oh, God, yes.
I mean, you guys are always in that list of people donating or participating in. I know Sean does a lot with the foundation.
Yes, he does.
And hopefully you'll do something.
Yeah, I
a
was
lot,
going to ask
something.
you about that. Are you going to start on your political political adventure? That's what I wanted to say. Maybe?
Maybe later. I have 2 younger kids.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And, I have a 4-year-old daughter who gets mad at me when I leave. So,
Yeah, that's a struggle.
It
I would
is.
say I would agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
Well,
Children need to be
once
a
they
little
become
older.
teenagers
Yes.
and you can't stand them,
exactly.
then you come and then you participate and get away.
Exactly. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, when they get a little older,
right.
then you're like, see ya.
Yeah.
I'm on a business trip. I'll see you in 3 days.
Yes.
I feel the same way. When I travel, I miss my son. He's 13. My older one's 21, but my younger's 13, and he's in a baseball tournament this weekend. I'm not there, so I get
it's really hard.
Yeah.
It is. And like my husband's FaceTiming me. I don't know how to do her hair. What am I supposed to do from here?
Well, let's put this on screen, and I'm going to walk you through
Send him a YouTube link.
a video.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you how to do this. That's hilarious.
You want me to film you doing it on Barb, and
there
then you can send it to
Yeah.
Hey, that's not a bad idea, Elvis.
Yeah,
just put a little ribbon in my hair and then send it to him.
Yeah.
This is how you braid it, and this is how you put it up. And the next time you go away, you're going to have to go through it with him.
Exactly, yes, definitely.
I know how girls are. I only had 2 boys, but I don't know how. I know girls are tough and high maintenance,
Very
which is
high
great.
Yes.
And smart. So, sorry.
Yes.
Why
No,
are
you're
you,
fine.
why are
No.
you staring at me? I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
So I want to ask you about, I saw an article, and I forget what magazine it was in, but you guys were showcasing your grandfather's briefcase?
Yes, okay.
Or a bag? Or, yeah.
Yes, this is my favorite story, so
let's
I
hear
might
it.
tear up a little bit.
Please.
So my grandfather used to be a lab technician. His dad died when he was very young, and he started working at a lab at 9 years old.
9?
Yes, and so he,
Before child labor laws?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he would get paid, and he would send the money home. Like he would live. It was in Lafayette, Louisiana. He would live there, and then he'd come home on the weekends and to support his mom and his his family. Well, then he developed a lung disease, so he couldn't be around the monomer anymore.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
he's like, how?
At 9?
No, later after.
Wow.
After he was married. So he's like, how am I going to support my wife and my daughter? So he got this leather bag and became a peddler. Whatever was in that bag was what he sold to the dentist that day. And my grandmother did the books.
Wow.
And so we found the first year, records.
Ledger.
Ledgers. And they sold $2,000 worth of stuff that first year.
What kind of things did they sell?
Oh, we have the list. Most of them's gone, but there was
Was it those weird medicines that had like cocaine in it and stuff?
Wow, you're rolling today, man. Cocaine.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know anything about that either. And that's
You know what I'm talking
the truth.
about. You know what I'm talking about.
So whatever was in the bag, that's what he sold.
Yeah.
Well, we still had the bag after my grandfather died, and it was on a shelf during Katrina, and it was on the top of a shelf. We never thought we'd get that much water. We never thought 18 feet of water was coming.
18 feet?
Yes.
Wow.
So we went back to the building, and, the whole front was gone. There was merchandise from Home Depot in the building, from a block down.
Oh,
and my husband's like, why are we here? Like, what are we trying to get? Like, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want the bag. And he's like, your desk came out of your office. Like, there's merchandise from Home Depot here. The bag's not there,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let's just go. Let's just try to find it. Well, that was the only shelf still standing.
Wow.
And the bag just went up and came back down. It was wet. It was, it had
Damaged
been
by
wet,
water?
damaged, yes.
Yeah.
But it was still there.
Wow.
So all we had left was a backup disc. And, we didn't know if we were going to restart or not. We have nothing. We have no building. We have no merchandise.
Oh, my
we
God.
don't know how long we're down for. Do we restart? Well, this bag was our sign.
That
He
it's a
started
yes.
from nothing. We can start from nothing, too. So
I do
That's
see that
awesome.
emotionally. That's awesome. Aww.
So, yeah. So,
How long were you guys down for?
we worked out at my dad's house. We went to my dad's house, and he didn't have call waiting.
Oh, Lord.
So the phone company's like, people don't have houses. They don't have phones. We can't add call waiting. So we're
Really?
like, okay. So we ran it from his house for a few weeks, with one phone line, and then we found this building. And
Like
Got
you
the hell out of Dodge.
Did you stock his garage with stuff?
yeah, we had, most manufacturers were great. They shipped for us. Like, they just
Okay.
drop shipped for us. So,
I'm sure you felt a lot of love.
oh, yes, we
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
did. We definitely
Yeah.
did. Everybody just, wrapped their arms around us and, like, what can we do to help?
That's amazing.
Yes. And, like, our labs would call, and they're like, we've been waiting every day. We've been waiting for y'all to come back, and even other suppliers were like, we'll supply for you right now, but you need to go back to Nowak.
Wow.
That was, yeah.
And that says so much, and I always say this about our industry. Our technicians are that way, our manufacturers. It's just we just support each other.
Exactly.
Even if we're competitors,
right.
we still support each other. We share information. That's really a great story, honestly.
That's amazing.
So I got to ask you a question
Yes.
about your shoes. I know you guys can't see her shoes, but they're amazing. They have teeth on them. They're awesome. Where did you get those? Did you order them?
I did. I got them
like
on
a
Facebook.
special order?
Yes, I got them on Facebook.
So we're going to take a picture of them and put them on our website. There you go.
I love it.
Yes, I figured I couldn't do heels all day,
I
and I'm like,
love
okay,
it.
I can do teeth tennis shoes.
And you're behind.
Yes.
So you look beautiful from the ground up, and your
Exactly.
shoes are nice, and they're comfortable.
Yes,
I'd be
exactly.
like, here you go, ladies.
Holy moly.
You're
Yes.
jealous. I know I'm jealous
Yes.
because these suckers are.
Are you puncturing holes
I
in the
know,
wall with those
your
things?
heels are high.
And I'm going to the airport, so I'm going to be walking in these all day. But I wish I had those. Those are
Yes.
great. So thank you. I might have to get me a pair.
You really do. And they had all kind of different ones, but I figured these look more professional.
Totally.
There was like different rainbow
And they match
ones.
your
Yes, they
outfit,
match
the
my
white and the
outfit.
black. Like I said, you guys can't see, but she's looking awesome today.
They have teeth.
They
Yeah.
do. They have teeth. You can't go wrong.
So thank you for
Yeah.
Thank y'all so
sponsoring
much.
us. That's
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. I'm so happy.
You're our
Yeah.
first sponsor, and we're so grateful, and we've talked about it the whole meeting, so
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's
Thank
really
you.
helped us out a
Good,
lot.
good.
We only want to partner up with a company that believes in the industry as much as we do. And
Yep.
we know you guys
Totally.
do.
Yes,
and
we
it was
definitely do.
it was an easy partnership, and we appreciate it.
Great.
Yeah, so
great.
thank you.
You're very, very
Thank you.
welcome.
And have a great meeting.
Thank
and
you.
Enjoy the trip home and your kids, and thank you for stopping by. And
Thank y'all so much for
Yeah,
having
thank
me.
you.
it was great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so we are here at LMT Day with Mr. Lovely, my mentor, Nelson Rego. Thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure. You're very generous. You don't need mentoring, honey.
When I went through the accreditation process, I sent him my photographs, and he helped me get through it. And it was a difficult task, and it's good to have
How
somebody
big of a
there
pain in
helping
the
you.
ass was she?
Was?
Thanks. See, they like my hat.
Your hat's awesome.
Your hat is overplaying our podcast.
It is.
sorry,
it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no. The neat thing, I think, especially in dentistry, when I came into the business, it was very much, if you'd walk into a laboratory, the person would kind of roll their shoulder over, so they didn't want you to see what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really changed in the sense that everybody's collaborative. Technicians have kind of realized finally that making you better doesn't make me worse.
Yeah.
And that's really the attitude.
What a great look. Yeah.
I mean, granted, I walk this convention floor, which is amazingly well attended, and you see all these mills, and you see the emphasis, and the emphasis is the commodity, and let's just make a widget. It's just a widget; anybody can make it, and that's a part of milling that I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that just means you have
Same
to also
here.
work hard to differentiate yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So how's business in California?
Well, I don't have any clients in California, or very few, so it's great.
Yeah, and it's in perfect weather. I'm
Well,
going to visit him one day.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's been raining a lot this year, which we need.
Yeah.
But it's tough when you have a state that charges such high taxes, and even on restoration. So we charge sales tax on any restorations, not a denture reline. Denture relines are not required to charge sales tax, which is really
Interesting.
stupid,
Odd.
right?
Yeah.
So a doctor's paying 10% sales tax. So that means you're
Wow.
around 10% more expensive to use a California lab. So if you think of that, that makes it a little bit harder. I mean, we have
But only if you're in California.
only if you're in California, yeah.
Buying
yeah.
it,
Yeah. So if I'm a lab in California, as a dentist in California, he pays
Yeah.
sales tax. If he's a lab in Reno or anywhere else or Florida, they don't pay tax.
And if a dentist outside of California uses
no sales
it,
tax
they'll
either.
pay.
Right.
Wow.
Right. So that makes it a little harder to
It
compete.
does.
I can see
Um,
that.
No wonder Glidewell doesn't have any local clients.
That's right. That's right. And and I think what happens too is that having local dentists for me is kind of I'm sure you have pick them and deliver. We don't pick them and deliver. I don't want to do custom shades. Those things are all very difficult to do, and I think technicians need to realize that there's less of us than there are dentists. And so instead of the typical phone call used to be when I first came in the business, hey, I want to use you for a lot of cases, but I want to send you a single central first. Yeah. And so if I get that call today, I say, listen, tell you what. You send me 25 posteriors
I
first.
was going to say.
And then I'll do the single central, and they'll tell me what I'll use. I'll use the local lab for posteriors. Then they can do your single central. Well, they won't get it right. I said, yeah, and I won't make money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do single central. This is it. And we don't go out for custom shades. I'll get that call sometimes, but I think if technicians stand up a little bit and realize that there's They need us probably more than we need them because there's so few of us. I saw a number that lab technicians have dropped, like 15,000 in the last 10 years, technicians in the country.
Bummer.
Which is why the automation has become so prevalent, because when's the last time someone walked in that could do everything in your lab?
It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
I don't even think they have, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And so that's a big concern. For us, business is amazing. We were at our best year last. We were up 20% in 17. We're up 20% again in 18.
Wow.
That's pretty sweet.
You know, now part of it, I got divorced in 17. So I said, I want to get half my stuff back.
That's some motivation there for you.
Yeah, so I think I kind of was fat and lazy, and I'm just fat.
No. So let's give you a plug. You were on the JDT Who's Hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of it was for, I think most of it was for education. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it was kind of an honor because I was picked in 2006 as well. And so it was funny because it came out just when they had the, the 10-year challenge. Mm-hmm. And this was more like a 13-year challenge. And,
nice.
and yeah, I've aged just a hair.
So you just love to teach, huh? Is that just passionate for you?
I didn't. It's funny. I don't think I really do that much. I was kind of surprised because I'm not lecturing as much as I used to, mainly because, I think, I have a special needs son. Mm-hmm. And so I have him every other weekend. And so that gives me 26 weekends a year, and I got to make a decision. What do I want to do with those 26 weekends? And so this is actually the first Chicago I've been to in 3 years, I think.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's all good. But I do it with the ACD a lot, as you know, and they have the mentoring program for dentists as well. So I mentor a lot of dentists, either evaluate their case or, hey, is this a good case or not? Because the key is case selection in the accreditation process. So I'll coach dentists and I'll coach lab guys. And so I don't know if that's how I got nominated, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That
was a great honor.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
We didn't get it this year.
I know. Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Well, I like the voices from the bench. It's really cool. It's a great idea.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, how are you concerned at all with the corporate dentistry thing? Is it affecting Night Dental Lab at all?
Well, we were talking about that at the Cal Lab, and they asked us about the DSOs, and we are a large DSO. Mm-hmm. And so we sell crowns that are very cheap, and we have to do a lot of creative ways to get them done, and a lot of technology, for us, that's our market. So
yeah. No, and something else we discovered was about 3-4 years ago, I was so busy with stuff that our posture department was suffering. I'd walk in and say, why are they playing Candy Crush Saga on their phone? Which the whole cell phone thing's kind of an issue anyway.
I know.
And it's tough because you want to say, hey, keep your phones in your desk, but some people don't abuse them, and so it's tough.
It is.
But anyway, so I sat there, and at that point we were charging $320 for a posterior.
Whoa.
Okay, which we used to get, and we still got. But then I realized, I could easily fire 2 people here. But I'm not a firing guy. I don't like it. These people have been here 20 years. I've been to their weddings. They really become family in a small lab like ours. I mean, 20-person lab is not a small lab, but it's a 20-person lab, not big either. And so I sat them down, and I said, okay, we're going to have to start thinking out of the box here a little bit. And so I sat them down and said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to adjust our fees, but I'm going to adjust your pay. But it's going to be kind of piecework and so I pay them an hourly wage plus piecework. And they're responsible for several factors in the restoration. If it comes back, let's say, for example, doctor asks for A3 and they make it A1, they remake it for just the salary. They don't get paid the piece.
Yeah.
So basically, kind of have ownership of their mistakes.
Skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
If the impression was off and doesn't fit, well, that's not their fault. But I will. They send the old impression back. I have it poured and I look at it. If I see the margin never should have been trimmed, they don't get paid for it. That way, they won't just blow through them. I don't care. Right. Yep. 2 interesting things happened. One, these guys are averaging $55 an hour in pay. So they're really excited because they were making less than that before. At first, they were a little terrified. And, it's hard because some, if we get a little bit slower, but they're all still making more than they did.
It's a lot of money.
They kind of feel they have some ownership.
Yep.
I don't worry nearly about as much stuff, but they'll bring things. And one of the favorite ways I like to communicate is I get a doctor's cell number and I send them a short video about what the issue is. So shoot the video, 40 seconds. They respond so much quicker.
Yeah, we talked about that
better.
This morning.
Yeah, and to some degree, the doctor's busy, and they call. You always chit chat a little bit, and not that you don't want to know each other's lives, but same token, there's a patient in the chair, and there's a crown that needs glaze.
Yep.
And so it's just a fast way to communicate, and it's amazing how well received it's been from my clients.
Oh, heck yeah, I love it.
And so they'll bring it to me and say, hey, there's something wrong. So in the morning, the first 50, I don't let them talk to the dentist, not because they would steal the dentist, but I want to make sure the message is consistent, so I do that. So it might be 10 cases a day. So boom, 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 send off the videos, and they go off, and in 20 minutes, most of the time I have their answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they send you a video back with an answer?
If they have, no. yeah, that's when they're in the bathroom. No, but typically they'll send videos of a patient's in the chair and they have a question.
Really?
Or we do a lot of FaceTiming.
And
the
it's
patient.
immediate gratification.
Yeah.
And
So
you know how much their chair time is
Yeah.
worth to them.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
we do the same thing now.
Yeah, it works really well, and it helps you stay connected.
Yeah.
But it gets our cases out quicker. So that's been a big part of our growth because our anterior stuff is, we're booked out 5-6 weeks anyway. So
Sure. Yeah.
well, I can't handle really many more clients.
Sure.
Some go, some don't. Some stay, some don't, but most don't leave. So
Yeah.
the loyal anterior guys, they stay. So if you can't find a good ceramist to do anteriors, I have not found a way to mill something and glaze it that looks like what we do by hand.
Same here.
No.
Yep.
Not for aesthetics.
Yep.
And it's kind of interesting. We introduced, not we, Ivoclar introduced. I lectured for them yesterday. Their new zirconia called Prime.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I saw that.
and-
Yeah, we were both at
Yeah.
that launch.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's an amazing product in the sense that you really do have a full mouth rehab material now that you can mill and stain.
Wow.
I still don't believe it looks as good as a layered restoration.
Have you used this?
Yeah, I've been beta
product?
testing it for
Beta
a
test.
couple,
Yeah,
3
I
months.
figured
Yeah,
that.
Wow.
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
Nothing's more stressful than you get the product to beta test a month before Chicago.
Oh.
And so I had a bunch of cases lined up, and the one I liked the best didn't fit. 28 units didn't fit. Impression was distorted, so there went
Oh,
almost,
damn. There's one whole
yeah,
extra slide, 10 minutes.
a little more than half of my inventory didn't work.
Oh.
So okay, there's half of my. Okay, now I got to find some more cases. So for the A2 posterior stuff, I actually was sending grounds to doctors to say, listen, take photos. It's not going to match what you asked for. You're just getting A2. I
Yeah.
need photos for my lecture.
Yeah.
And so I showed a bunch to show what the restoration looked like. They didn't necessarily match because
Yeah.
the doctor, there's a certain kind of good enough mentality in the posterior with a lot of
Yes.
doctors where they send the
Great.
restoration, they
Yep.
put A2. You look at it, it's like, where'd you get A2 from? But they don't even send. They don't
It's
even
just
send a
their
picture.
state.
Just make it A2. It's
Yeah.
awesome, and it's because the good thing that's very bread and butter. And so, like I said, probably the majority of our growth has been posteriors, which has also allowed us to cut back a little bit on the anterior because I'm not. My goal is not to die at the bench.
Yeah, I know.
And so we started actually this year.
Yep.
Me and my brother, who's my business partner.
I was
hey,
just going to ask.
Hey
is
Juan,
he
how you
still
doing, brother? I hope
there?
you're
Yep.
listening. He and I started alternating Fridays off.
Nice.
And I'm only working maybe 7 hours a day, maybe something like
for
that.
you.
So I'm not working a lot. So the numbers are climbing, but it's less stuff that I have to manage.
Getting more balance.
Yeah.
Well, when you do a 10-unit veneer case or a 28-unit case, that you just can't hand it off, walk away, and not expect that something may go wrong. So
Yeah.
that takes a lot more
I like
eyeballs.
that.
So, and then my brother's son came into the lab about April will be 2 years that he was doing real estate and said, what, I'm doing commercials. Not really gratifying that the whole goal here is to steal someone's deal,
Yeah.
And so he'd been around the lab obviously his whole life. February 2nd was 39 years we've been open, so he's 27.
Congratulations.
So he's been around the lab. The lab was there before he was. So he's come in and he's helped also. The idea is not to have him be a technician. I mean, I don't know. I'm 57. My brother's 60 almost.
Maybe
And so-
run it.
Yeah, maybe run it, and maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever really totally retire.
I doubt it.
I can't.
I
first,
won't.
Well, first of all, I can't go. I can't go 3 weeks anywhere because my son's 20, going to be 20, but mentally he's maybe 2. So so I kind of always will have a child at home, if
Sure.
you will.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be gone 3 weeks and
No.
not see him either. So I can't see that. So I could see 3 days a week, maybe every other week.
Good for you.
Something like that. So I don't know.
Cool.
I'm really thinking about that. I got to recover my finances from my divorce anyway. But no, it's going great. And we do almost no PFMs. I think we did maybe 8
know.
last year.
8?
Maybe 8. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I was
what I
mad.
said.
I was mad
Who's
about
doing
those.
PFMs?
Yeah.
It's like-
Yeah. And I actually not that I'm putting a plug, but I actually send those to Argen to
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
they do a great job with those.
They're
Yeah.
nice.
And I don't have to do anything.
That's
Yep.
where we send ours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I
Charge
like,
it a lot.
the goal is, I kind of like to stick in what I'm good at. Like I got the
Totally.
PM7 mill, so now I can do digital dentures.
I have that too.
I'm never going to
Yeah.
do them. Have you done digital dentures?
No.
I mean, it looks
I
amazing.
know.
For me,
One day, maybe.
yeah. I mean, for me, what I think it would be cool to do is come up with a way to do a more inexpensive all-on-4 because you can take the denture tooth puck
Yep.
and you can mill that. So why couldn't you mill that like a full mouth
I bet you could.
zirconia case and cement them in there and
Make
call
it
it a
hell
day?
of a lot easier.
And make it so, okay, listen, Mrs. Smith, this is not as strong as the zirconia may break, but you know what? We can mill you 3 of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Something
So
like
now
that.
you have backup.
Yeah. So I mean, your doctor has to go. You have to have it, put in by a dentist.
Yep.
But the point is, I'm always trying to find ways where I can still be profitable and maybe give someone a different outcome. Because one of the things that is funny, when I get on in a cab, the first thing someone says, "Oh, what are you here for?" Usually say, "Oh, I'm for a dental meeting." "Oh, are you a dentist?" "Oh, I'm a technician." "Oh, God, I need some implants, but
Exactly.
I can't." Always the same discussion.
I know.
can't afford it on my. And then you think to yourself,
Yep.
nice dentistry shouldn't just be for people with money. So how can we bring that? How can we make it so people that have less money can still get a nice outcome?
I love that. Yep, I agree.
And so if that's the way to do it, that'd be really cool. In fact, I think I was sharing with you that I have a good friend. He's a dentist. His name is Gene Shapiro, and he's been working on getting an FDA-approved implant for several years. And so he realized, okay, once I get it, what am I going to do with it? And so he, long story short, I'm 50% owner of that, and one of the goals is to make it inexpensive, and not so doctors can make more money, but they can treat more patients.
Yep.
And so we got our FDA approval Friday.
Congratulations.
So, so
I
That's
bet
a
you
big
that's
deal.
well, I didn't have a lot of skin in that game like he did. So
Yeah.
for him, it was like he delivered triplets. But I'm really excited about it because I would like to give back a smile. So the ACD has something called Give Back a Smile for women who've been battered.
Yeah.
Or just
Yep.
it's usually women, but you can argue that some women have hit me sometimes.
Yeah, I've done several for them as well.
Yeah, exactly. But
I thought you meant you've hit several.
no, they've hit me.
Yeah.
No, they've hit me. Yeah. No. My dad always told me don't hit a girl, even when they have a gun. But anyway, so I'm hoping that we can use that kind of a tool. Especially if you think about it, why couldn't we do a guided implant surgery for Give Back a Smile inexpensively? When you if you've seen guided surgery, it's not very difficult. Sorry, doctors. But it doesn't take a lot of time. That's a better way to say it. So we can knock out a case in an hour.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I'd rather, honestly, I was brought up Catholic, and I'd rather give my money to that than the church.
Yep.
At least I know where money's going.
Yep.
Not to a pedophile. Sorry.
I was brought up Catholic too.
So it's very
I get it.
Yeah, no. Or even when you go to you've been to the Vatican and you see the opulence, and then one time I went to Mexico, the Basilica de Guadalupe, and there was Hispanics especially are very much into like penance. So they're little old ladies on their knees, crawling on their hands and knees for some whatever, and they're dropping in their 2 pesos, which then they're making tortillas in the corner selling tacos for 2 pesos.
Yeah.
Then you see these urns of gold that,
Yeah.
and it's like, So anyway, I don't know. I'm not trying to pontificate, and I'm not
Pontificate.
Yeah,
Now that
yeah.
kind of sounds sexual. Sorry.
Yes.
You can edit that out.
Now that you brought that out, you should tell me how you first told me how to pronounce your last name, ma'am.
I tell people that all the time.
He's
I
on
said
the
it's
podcast.
Trojan. Wojan. I know. We've said that on the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
it's so
'cause
funny.
of you.
She goes, no, she says, it's Wojan, rhymes with Trojan.
Yeah. It's in the eyes.
And he's like, I got it.
I'm in.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, anyway, but
Anything else you want to say?
No, it's
Yeah,
fun.
well, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
no, my
you
pleasure.
so much for stopping by. It's
No.
great to see you again.
Likewise, I
haven't
love
seen
your
you in
hat. For
years.
people who aren't
Thank
looking,
you.
she has a Make Teeth Great Again hat, which
Yes.
looks like a Make America Great hat, and that's gotten more press than anything, I
It
think.
actually has.
Yeah.
People have come by and taken photographs of it.
Right.
So
Right,
if
exactly.
you know who Nowak is, Sean Nowak
Oh, yeah,
is
I know,
our
yeah,
sponsor,
yeah.
he has them. So
Oh, nice.
if
nice,
you want
yeah.
one.
Well, I was thinking of going outside and having 2 people beat me up. That's what I was thinking of doing. Anyway, all right, guys,
All right,
awesome.
thank you.
Pleasure
It
as
was
always.
great to meet you.
Likewise.
great
Yeah, thank you.
All right, go for it.
Marlin,
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think it's still, no, it's afternoon now.
afternoon. How do you pronounce your last name?
Gone, not here.
Gone?
Gone, you know?
Gone. Oh.
I thought it was Gohn.
No, it's Gohn. It's
See, you notice how I
Sean
asked.
with a G.
I asked,
Yeah,
and I'm still going to get it wrong.
that's okay.
He's not going to
Marlin
get it wrong.
Gohn, CDT,
Yes.
from Argen. Is it Argen or Argen?
They pronounce it Argen, but we don't care what
Argen.
you call us as long as you call us.
Nice.
I think
No.
it's Argen.
Argen?
Yeah.
It was Argen for 30 years with me, and then there was a little thing that somebody overseas said that
It should be Argen.
they called theirs Argen, and so
interesting.
we're Argen.
What does Anton say?
Argen.
Then that's what it is.
He signs the check.
So what is your role with Argen?
Technical.
Yes.
Okay.
So I go into labs if they're having problems, or like a lot of times, like our new zirconians, I go in and show them how to instead of just out the box to show them how to make it look a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
I see you on Facebook flying here, flying there.
Oh, yeah.
You seem to travel quite a lot. Do you enjoy that?
I do. I really do enjoy it. I mean, as you and I have talked before, I've told you that my old saying is, if knowledge is useless unless you share it. And the thing about it is, if I got a little bit of knowledge that I can help somebody, I enjoy that. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy that. That's it's kind of a dream job for me. You know, it's good. I, run my own lab. I worked in a big production lab, running teams there, and I've kind of seen the whole realm of things, and I go to a lot of continued education courses just to keep up on things, which this show has really grown. I mean, I talked to them earlier. Yesterday at late, and they had already had over 3,500 people pick up their badges.
They're over 4 now.
Yeah,
over
Judy
4.
showed us that today.
Yeah, that is really good. And for a year that the IDS is going on, this is usually a little lower attendance.
Yeah.
But it shows what's happened with this show. It's really become, the place to be. And because they've done such a good job getting speakers in, and
it's jam-packed.
It's jam-packed, and it's not just show a picture and say, look what nice work I do.
Yeah.
A lot of the courses I've gone into so far, they're telling you how they did it, and they're showing you slide by slide. Here's step A, B, C.
Yep.
And which
it's
is
a big
really
difference.
good.
It's a
great turnaround from what it was years ago.
I've been to a few shows where the speaker is just showing all his great work, and you're like, that's great. How do you do it?
Hey, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
it's beautiful.
You do fantastic work, but, I can appreciate beauty. But, tell me how to do it. If I don't have the talent of some of these top-notch ceramists, give me a little something. If I go to a course, and I was just talking to Morrison a few minutes ago when he walked up, and it's the thing, if I go to a 2 or 3 day course and I get one little nugget out of that, it was worth the time.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's not, you don't go to one of these shows thinking I'm going to learn everything. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's you might get a little something from one product from one company and one from another, and you put them together and you end up with what pleases you. Mm-hmm. So that's
cool.
the thing.
I like that. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
So what are you guys launching? Are you launching anything at this meeting?
We're showing we're going to start doing digital dentures. In fact, we're getting into having people sign up for beta.
Okay.
And they are real close to, it's not the high-end dentures, they say. It's, it's economical denture, but it looks pretty good, And there's stuff that you can do with it like anything else.
You guys going to print them on the carbon? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. And, of course, our, multi-layered ST that's coming out. It's about 850 megapascals. So it's a little harder than our other anterior, but this is going to be multi-layered.
Nice.
7 layers. So it really looks nice, yeah.
What is 7 layers?
Different
chromas, and then you go
you get a little bit of size, so you get a little bit better blend.
7's a lot.
We don't even layer 7 layers. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Well, there again, it's where you're taking the master ceramist and
turning it digital.
Turning it digital is exactly right, and a lot of it is going to have to do with how it's nested.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
You can only nest it so much, and it's. You get one of these Curva Wilson, Curva Spee.
Yeah. I can see that.
That, is a little off. You make it a little bit different in size. So you have to have somebody that, one, knows anatomy and how to nest it makes a big difference, in any product.
And that's probably where you come in. And they're like, this doesn't look right, and you go in and troubleshoot and tell them exactly how to place it.
Well, a lot of times we can do team view, or we can actually look at, check their screens and check and see how things were done. A lot of times we don't even have to go there, checking settings and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you look at different things. Are they dry milling? Are they wet milling? What their strategy is, and that type of thing.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
How much are you involved with the R&D at Argen?
Not much anymore. We have
probably is huge now, right?
Yeah, we have a technician at CDT that does a lot of the R&D on zirconium, staining, glazing, and checking shades, and where we're bringing out stuff. It's we've grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's.
There's a lot of hands going up at Cal Lab on who is using you and what vendors and, the outsourcing part of it and, what they use. I mean, you've definitely grown the company. The company's transitioning. It
really is.
It's doing well.
I was in Anton's lecture, and I've gotten so much good feedback about it because it wasn't just promoting what we're doing. It was look where we've come from. Not only as a company, but as a profession. And yes, I do call it a profession.
Yes.
It's not just a trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I think is, a group we need to work on, because this is a profession.
Yep.
And different ADA and what have you may say it's a trade, not a profession, but it is a profession. So,
I agree, and I think it's something we should push over on this podcast.
Yeah, we need somebody, as I was, again, just talking to Morrison, there's got to be somebody out there that has a relative, next-door neighbor, friend that's a reporter or does some kind of news or something that we can get on national news and stuff about what it takes to produce a crown. And the knowledge that you have to make it right.
Sure.
And it's not, just one of these basement type outfits.
Yep. Not anymore. Really, it definitely isn't.
And this thing, when I first started my first lab, it cost me $10,000. That might have been a day or two ago.
Yeah.
Today, what do you get for $10,000? What do you get for $100,000? So
the benches.
I see your point.
No, and that's just it.
I see your point.
It
like
takes
not
a lot of money
Yeah.
to get there.
Especially if you want to be digital and you want to be on the cutting edge and you want to be in all the new stuff. I mean, it's a pretty penny.
Right. And it's the thing that's, what's gone a long ways is, 10 years ago, not even that long, outsourcing was a bad word.
I know.
But
no, you're right.
The fact of the matter is, now, if I was to open another lab, I would probably have a scanner, maybe a porcelain oven, model. Something to do models, trimmer, and what have you. And not much more. Handpiece, a couple of them.
Yep.
Make a little adjustments. Yeah.
And outsource everything. Now, outsourcing used to be, everything goes to China.
Yeah.
Well, really, outsourcing it can go next door.
Yep.
If you're not the one that is physically doing it, it's outsourced. Doesn't matter if you're doing your partial frameworks, metal frameworks, whatever. It's an outsource.
Well, yeah. I mean, we outsource all of our abutments.
Right.
That's not a bad thing.
It isn't a bad thing.
Because I'm not going to be milling abutments.
No, and you go through the FDA and all that. I mean, I've seen what we've had to go through for the FDA and stuff to get all our stuff
I've heard.
cleared.
No thanks.
It's a nightmare.
No thanks.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work and a lot of record keeping and everything else. So outsourcing's not a bad thing these days. There again, we try and keep it in, it's good to keep it in the United States.
I keep it with good companies is what I try to do.
Right.
I mean, that are ethical and want to help our profession.
And it's like buying equipment these days. Anybody can sell you equipment. You just got to make sure that you're getting the support.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because something breaks down, which it's going to do.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Argen or Argen, whatever, is a huge contributor to our industry, as in sponsoring events and participating we've had board members on NADL from Argen. But you yourself participate in the triathlon.
Yay!
Yeah.
I saw you last year. You ran you swam for 5 teams?
3.
3 teams.
I ran for
man.
1.
Ran for 1.
Ooh.
Swam for 3.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
amazing.
just it's for the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. It's like you said, the company supports everything they can because one, we only deal with the labs.
That's what I love about that company.
We only deal with the labs. We don't work with the dentist. We only work with the labs. And so this is how the business has grown. That's why they support the business.
And that's got to hurt.
Yeah.
To your guys' bottom line. Because
Yep.
you see all these companies, they deal with us, but then they dabble in the dentist. Because they know that the dentist, there's, 400,000 dentists or something. And then there's labs, there's 6,000. So they know there's a bigger market there. To choose not to says a lot.
Yeah.
It does. It shows a lot of integrity.
And
I mean, that's it.
And that's why at our lab we'll always utilize you guys to the most that we can.
Well, we thank you for that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on, and I do technical. I don't do sales. Maybe in a roundabout way, I do.
Not the same.
So
I can tell you that.
It's even when I go into labs, like I've gone in your lab, and there's things that we don't sell that I recommend because it makes it better.
Yeah.
So this is what I use for glazing. This is what shading or stains or what have you. And it's different companies. And it's some may be competitors on another product, but the ones I recommend are not their products better than ours.
Yeah.
It's it's one of these things, but what to use for polishing zirconia and how not to get that incandescent fluorescent look, opalescent. It makes a little difference. And when you can teach somebody how to do that with somebody else's product, say, here it is, it's a win-win all the way around.
And it keeps you guys honest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't
It
get
does,
anything
for
for
sure.
it.
Yeah.
The only thing I get is if I can help you, I may not have to come back. Just to say hi, follow up, that's one thing. But, then you're doing good, and, hopefully you remember who told you.
That's cool.
That's great.
Well, we appreciate you for being on today. Thank you for
Thank
talking
you
to
so
us.
much.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm going to ask one more time, Anton. I'm trying to get Anton on this show. You know how hard it is to get in touch with that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been sitting over here having meeting after meeting on his park
during the
bench.
weekend. I get it. But.
Yeah. Well, I'll mention it to him, and hopefully he's listening to this, and we'll see
he'll
what
be
we
checking
do.
up on you when we play this one. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
All right.
Marlin.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
A big thanks to Brandi, Nelson, and Marlin for sitting down with us at LMT Lab Day Chicago 2019. Make sure you stop by the Nowak booth at both Lab Day West and the FDLA Symposium. If you're at the FDLA next weekend, be sure to check out Nelson Rego's program. He will be there talking about zirconia and the new Zircad Prime by Ivoclar Vivadent.
That's going to be a great program.
Of course, Barb and I will be at FDLA Symposium next weekend, May 9th to the 11th. Stop by and record with us if you're interested.
Oh, stop right there.
Uh-oh.
Because if you don't stop by, my ass is going to be coming out and grabbing y'all to come and sit down with us. Because if there's one thing we love, it's going live at the show. So if you don't stop by, I'm going to grab you. Just saying, especially if you know me or if you've known me, we're going to come grab you.
Or, if you're scared of Barb and don't want to be roped in,
Yeah, you might be.
you can always arrange a time to record with us by sending us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com. And please make sure, when you are not at our booth, that you stop by our newest sponsor's booth, the Preet Corporation. This company does so much for our industry and offers stellar customer service. Make sure you check out Preet.com first for all your implant and attachment needs. Thank you for the support, Preet.
Thank you. So if you remember, many months ago, we had a couple of denturists on our podcast. We also talked to the Noss family that is now relocated to Maine about becoming a denturist. So it just so is that Maine is having what looks like a great conference coming up June 7th and the 8th at the Hollywood Casino in Bangor, Maine. They have a few past guests of the podcast speaking, including James Angeloni and Brian Johnson. They also have Bill Buzz Connell, Dr. James Cassidy, and Dr. Robert Erickson, and hygienist Nikki Wazalewski. Head over to this episode's show notes for a link for more information.
And don't forget, this is the last week for this batch of Voices from the Bench t-shirt fundraiser. Order yours by May 11th. We have t-shirts, long sleeve, hoodies, tank tops, women's fitted shirts, and football jersey shirts. All profits benefit the Foundation of Dental Laboratory Technology. Head over to voicesfromthebench.com and order yours today.
Oh, when is the 11th? I got to order myself a t-shirt.
It is
Mother's Day?
Oh,
okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I got time. Just saying. And make sure you put Barbara Wojin. All proceeds go to Barbara Wojin Triathlon. Since Elvis and his team are going to do a relay.
Yeah, you deserve all the money. You're doing the whole thing.
No, I don't. We all deserve all the money for our industry. So see you in Florida, guys. Have a great week.
All right, everybody. Well, have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Oh, yes, please do. Okay.